Okay, this makes a change. Johhny Dreamshore is here with us the studio.
Here he is.
Here he is, the man himself. You can touch him.
Direct from Miami.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, it's great to be in London. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. It's really good.
Little piece of sunshine in our lives.
Yeah. Right. Beamed in from Miami. So, Johhny, how have you enjoyed your trip so far?
By far the best trip I've been on, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
I mean, this is the first time I've even traveled to Europe.
Yeah. Well, it's quite a way. Yeah, it's quite a way. So, we're pleased to have you.
Thank you for having me.
And we're going to make sure your trip is very enjoyable.
Absolutely. So you guys went to RetroFutureFest.
We did. Yeah. But it's
nice. Yeah.
Actually, that was the day that I arrived from the airport where I couldn't really sleep much, but when I got here, I was just too excited to even get any rest. I mean, I got here around 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah, drove to the airport and picked you up tonight.
Yeah, so after that, we were just chatting, and throughout the as the hours continued to go by, we went to Central.
Well, you didn't actually go to sleep at all. This is the thing. You got back to mine, and we're like, should we do you need some sleep, Johhny? And we're like, I don't know if I do. I think I think I'm gonna carry on. And then we went out. By 5 o'clock, we were drinking beer. We needed to warm up for the evening.
By 7 o'clock, you were taking...
We weren't taking anything. We weren't taking anything of the sort. No, we were...
Take it easy now. Yeah. We don't need the whole world to know that.
No. Yeah, we were basically what looked like a... It was a tunnel, essentially like a tunnel underneath Waterloo Station.
It did.
I think it was actually Banksy's... They call it Banksy's Tunnel or Banksy's Graffiti Area.
Yeah,
I think he sponsors it or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, the address was, 26 Leek Street or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of graffiti. It felt like you were in like this whole Blade Runner scene of such. I don't know. It looked pretty cool at the same time. You're like underneath everything and anything. Anybody can go inside there.
Yeah, well, I saw you guys just before you were going in there, right? I didn't join you, but yeah.
No. You should have done.
Yeah. Looked like a lot of fun.
And we spoke to plenty of artists. Some of them called themselves synthwave artists. Some of them were more like, this genre's found me. And I thought that was interesting. We were saying earlier how often the genre it's there and people kind of put you into it and they say, yeah, you're a synthwave artist. You go, well, okay. And stop playing that, Phil. You're going to start something over there. Stop. Stop that. Yeah. Phil's playing keyboards off screen.
Can't help it. Musicians' fingers go where they want to go.
They do. So no, what we were saying was the synthwave genre. Some artists have set out to be in it. Yeah. Some artists... What are you laughing at?
I was just grinning at you like an idiot. Sorry.
Well, Phil's been drinking all day.
No. My goodness.
Yeah. Just stop grinning. And basically, we're saying the genre of synthwavian, as I'm going to call it.
Yeah.
Is some people decide to be in it, and some people it finds, and some
and some people aren't in it.
You don't.
I decide not to be in it.
Well, I think you are in it, Phil. This is not your choice. Wearing a t-shirt like that, I'm not sure what genre you're in.
I like to keep you guessing.
Yeah, you do. We're not talking about sexuality though. We're talking about synthwave. Johhny, what do you think about that?
I think it's great because sometimes it's good to, not to expect the unexpected. So whatever pops into you that provides opportunity. Pops to you.
Phil, pops into you?
Screaming out opportunity.
I'm still not to expect the unexpected. But yeah, sure, go on.
All right, let me say it like this. If there is opportunity and it just screams at your face, I'd say take it.
I agree. You got to take the chances you get thrown at you.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what opportunities are going to come.
Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And this is an opportunity for us all, to be friends, and that's nice. That's a nice thing.
Absolutely. US hanging out with the UK and UK doing its thing.
So Johhny and myself caught up with a lot of the artists performing at the festival. In fact, the music you're hearing right now is one of them, a very talented Sunglasses Kid.
All I can say is that the songs that you've made are phenomenal. Well, thank you. And what can you tell us? What is the future for Sunglasses Kid?
I don't know. I don't think that far ahead. I think maybe I'm always pushing for a different, slightly evolving sound. I'm kind of moving.
When you say evolving, what do you mean by that?
So, in the way that music evolved in the 80s, from like 87 to 89, there was a change in the sound. It got more aggressive.
Right, in what
It
way?
started to come in the sounds, in the palette of sounds that we use. So, kind of harder snares, funkier, more aggressive, more experimental. Some of my biggest influences are producers like Teddy Riley, Jam and Lewis, L.A. Reid, Babyface. That's where I'm kind of coming from.
Would you say that they are like a biggest influence of what you create today?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I'm a voracious listener of like movie soundtracks. So I have a collection of about 80 soundtracks, but I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to Hans Zimmer, Ennio Morricone, my favorite composer. So that was what I wanted to be when I first started making music. I wanted to be a film composer. I went to film school, wanted to be a film composer, and then 2013 I was out of work. I got a day job, which I still do have. I work in social media marketing.
Just like with everybody else.
Yeah, like everyone else. And I started doing the 80s thing as a bit of fun.
And all I can say is, man, if there's any man that would say that you have by far the maximum potential of what you create, it would be me.
Well, that's very kind of you, very American of you to say such kind words. But I am always like searching. I'm always looking back into there's such a treasure trove in like the 80s back catalogue. I don't mean any disrespect to other synthwave artists because I respect everything they're doing, but I spend a lot of time back in that era, like 80s, late 80s R&B, New Jack Swing, funk, soul. One of my like earliest kind of influences was I started playing drums when I was 13, and I was introduced by a drum teacher to jazz, to Herbie Hancock and headhunters, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Chet Baker, and I learned jazz and funk drum. And that was where I found this kind of synergy between this kind of 80s palette, this exciting sound, and then there's this jazz and funk sensibility. And when you look up and look at the resume of like producers back from the 80s, like Jam and Lewis, people like that, they're all consummate jazz pros. They were jazz trained funk and soul musicians who discovered electronic music and found a whole bunch of new sounds to play with. If you listen back to any kind of album, like Janet Jackson's early albums like Control, anything like that, the sounds are very jazzy and they're very funky. So, like if I was giving advice to someone, I'd be like, go back to the 80s and go back further, go back to the 50s and the 60s to jazz and funk, because when jazz introduced those like colourful chords, that was really the beginning of the foundation of pop music. Was these new kind of chords that came out of American jazz. I've said this a lot. I'm on record saying this a lot. Synthwave is a genre that finds you. There was a lot of people back in 2012-13 making their own music in their own little bubble in Europe, in America. People on their home computers, on their home studios, who were passionate about the 80s. And there were a few early kind of bloggers and writers, people like Rick Shithouse, who I always say, he's an Australian guy, started a blog, and somebody somewhere finds you on social media, on the internet, says, "You're Synthwave, we're adopting you." Oh, am I? So I don't know if I really am Synthwave. I think I'm just someone who loves 80s R&B.
You just so happen to blend right in within that music community, more or less.
Yeah, I think the 80s is the kind of glue that binds us.
Yes. Do you believe that, let's say, within 10 years, do you believe that this music community will continue to grow, or perhaps evaporate within time?
I think it's going to probably die. Yeah, I think this is a temporal thing. I think there's people who will surface. There is a lot of talented composers in there who will go on to work in video games and movies. I think there's been a kind of real second and third wind with Stranger Things.
Yes.
And some pop culture stuff that's kind of given it another boost. And I think there's something about what I think the passion. The 80s is quite a specific period. I think like anything, it will have resurgences and come back. This genre, I don't know. I really don't know.
So you would say it's a mystery. Within time, only then will tell. But no, when it's actually going to be by far, perhaps the most impactful genre than the majority of electronic genres that are around there.
Yeah, maybe.
Perhaps.
That's very trippy.
Let's say.
I think like one of the most prophetic people you can look back to, if you want to get deep, would be someone like Andy Warhol, who absolutely like predicted what we're living in right now, which is a world of remixing, repurposing, and 5 minutes of fame, people becoming in Instagram celebrities, and references. If you took an alien, landed here and heard this music, it would be like the amount of meta levels we'd have to explain what was going on. We'd be like, yeah, it's referencing back to things. And so I think we're living in this very like weird postmodern world where everyone's recycling and refiltering, and it gets so meta. Everything now. It's like trying to explain something to your grandma. Oh, this is a meme.
Yes.
It's like a remix of a thing, of a dog, of a thing. Like, how do you explain that?
Which then becomes a trend of some sort.
Yeah. But I think there's something else going on, which is the desire for people around the world to try and connect with each other. And there is something beautiful about live shows that's coming back to kind of meeting people like you.
Absolutely, and I would say that communication is key, where it allows people to actually communicate, just like you and I, and everybody else in the world. That gives the opportunity to have a voice within this music community itself, because at the end of the day, we're all human beings that strive to become furthermore than what we are currently.
Yeah, and to go even more weird, right? You're from Miami.
Yes, sir.
I wrote a song called Miami Lover.
Yes, I
And Miami is a kind of it's symbolic of the 80s, but it's a Miami Vice. It's kind of emblematic of the 80s. And it's weird to meet someone from Miami, because Miami has always been this distant image, an image only through film and through art and through the lens of like Miami Vice and things like that.
Believe me, people like us, people like myself, appreciate people like you that dedicate the time to make something like
so like I'm like imagining Miami, but it's not a real Miami. It's a film Miami. It's a movie Miami. But I try to take inspiration from film, from art, from countries, from all lots of different places, as well as 80s music. But it's taking those ideas, and it's very much, the music is very much selling people a whole kind of ambience and a whole feeling of something. It's the feeling of escapism.
Sunglasses, good. Thank you for so much for
Thank
taking
you
time
so
to
much,
talk
Johnny. It was lovely. And bring me to Miami sometime. Invite me and I will come and I will do a Sunglasses Kid party with you.
Within time, my friend. This is Johhny Lad from ZeroLink Podcast signing out. Take care.
Next up, Johhny spoke to LeBrock lead singer Sean Phillips. Yeah, they sounded really good on the night. Really enjoyed them. They were bringing a bit more of a rock vibe to the genre. Halfway through the interview, we do have a bit of an intrusion going on, but quite a funny one. Yeah, check it out. Action!
Alright, how you doing, guys? This is Johhny from Dreamshore here in London, United Kingdom, having a conversation with Sean Phillips, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
From LeBrock, lead singer. Hey, can you give us a little bit of details regarding your band? How did it form? How did it become what it is today?
I used to play in a band. We toured with Tony from Dance with the Dead was the guitarist.
Yes.
So the band they were from LA, and I just sang for him. And he showed me this band he just started, just working on with his mate, just messing around, Dance with the Dead. I showed it to Michael because he likes electronic music, and he was like, "Fuck, we could do this well easy." So we tried, and that is kind of just literally how it started, just for a laugh, you know.
Would you say that captivated your inspiration to doing what you do today as LeBrock?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps more. It clicked, you know. You know, so we started doing it. Michael did a bit on his own anyway. And it just clicked. And we didn't do any vocals for a start, and then he was like, "Let's try." And we tried, and it seemed like it worked. We did "Call Me," it was the first song, the biggest song, I guess.
You would say more or less that ever since you guys have been creating these songs from year after year, it's created more or less a huge impact over the music community when it comes to synthwave itself and what you guys represent as LeBrock.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on that?
It's hard because synthwave, there's so many different kind of niches and stuff like that, and you know that's what ruins like a scene, you know, when you try and categorize every little part.
Right.
And like we like playing to like a synthwave crowd, you know, retro wave synthwave, you know, it's all kind of correlates, you know. But
so you would say you don't specialize, or perhaps you don't symbolize as synthwave. It's further beyond that.
Yeah, I think we're kind of an act that uses synths and a lot more than other band. I don't know, like we always wanted to be a rock band, but you know this kind of fits in. It just really works. You know, like we're both like a little bit older, I guess, not too old, and we love like the kind of power ballady kind of stuff, which really works with like synths. And we thought let's like take that down to a smaller level, you know, not stadium kind of thing, and let's write some songs using these kind of basic things that they use, basic instrumentation. We're not like the best musicians in the world by a long stretch, but we know what we like and we know how to write a song.
But would you agree that you've created an impact more or less on what you've done for the past several years as LeBrock? I mean, the way I discovered you actually would be your very first single, which was "One Night." How did you guys come up with that song?
Well, I mean, for me, that was kind of what we did kind of do together. Michael usually writes a lot of songs, but I think we both like kind of wanted to put some guitar in it because he didn't have any guitar in it to start with. I was just like, let's just kind of flow the guitar with the vocals, you know. So it's like the guitar's playing, I don't wanna, you know, it's like talking to someone because it's about me and my wife arguing. So like the guitar would be kind of her, and then it's me saying, and then she's like taking back, and that's all it was. Right? It really that was just a mess about song, honestly. And yeah, we found some guy in South Africa really heard it, I don't know how, and he said, "Can I mix it?" And he did it. He made it a superb job. It's just a good song. It's a pop song, you know.
Well, all I can say is that within your time period as being LeBrock, you've just so happened to increase your following. But not only that, you've recently, if I'm not mistaken, you've signed up with a label called Fixed Neon.
Yeah.
That has now focused on your band and perhaps to help you push further within your music project that you have at the moment.
Yeah.
What would you say? Like, what's it like being with them when it comes to as a label, all in all?
I think it's you know they're not a major label, but they are a label that's definitely wants to do something constantly. You know, want to get bigger and bigger and bigger. They don't want to like just plumb for releasing a few synthwave bands, and they do a lot of other stuff like industrial stuff and that as well.
Yeah, they got a big history over a lot of other electronic rock.
So yeah, they are really helpful. You know, like they've definitely raised our profile and made us like work a bit harder, which I think
which motivates you to go further beyond what you need to as a rock.
Have to.
Are there any artists that you would say within that label that has captivated you to go?
I like tattoos.
Is that my manager?
My band is running this one.
Oh,
It's good.
Yes.
Nice and colourful. Did they choose colours? Nice. Groupies, they aren't what they used to be.
Right. Would you say they're more unique now compared to back then?
They're definitely more unique. Whoa. Music fan? Music I've got to stop my mum coming out because she's fucking ruining things for me. We've done 2 EPs in our bedroom. We haven't ever recorded in the studio, ever, with this band. It was all done in Michael's bedroom. A band is about chemistry, you know. If you've got a drummer who doesn't want to play what you want to play, you know, and you know, it's gonna fucking, you're not gonna play what you want to play. You're not gonna the songs are gonna sound like you want it to sound. Whereas you can literally, I've never had a good drummer in a band. I've always had bad experiences.
Yeah, same here.
So it's cool to like, you can write a full song, you can get a drummer, but you've got the song ready. You know, I think it's good that people can go on their own, like write a song. We work as a pair, you know, and that works as well. I mean, maybe 3 or 4 might work, but you know, I think you've got to have chemistry. And me and Michael have known each other years, and chemistry is definitely something we've been involved in. So I think it just works. And you can do it on your own. A lot of these acts do it on their own. It's brilliant. Yeah. You know, like I was in a DIY punk band.
Right. And would you say, as far as the project that you have going on for yourself as LeBrock with your partner, where do you see this project itself going in the next 5 years or so?
I would love to play, you know, like, I think if we can get it a bit bigger on the next album, or the first album, I want to go like stadiums and stuff like that. I want to take this to like a big crowd. I want people to really like see it, you know what I mean? I think this music's really positive. I'm like, see like shit, like Post Malone, awful shit, just going up there, just, it's terrible.
Right.
It's like, there's no song there.
I agree.
There's an image, there's a shit tattoos on my face, like overweight guy. You know, it's just, there's nothing, there just doesn't seem to be anything there, and it's not positive, it's not giving you a message.
Right.
You know, as well, I think if you come and see a band, like, not every Synthwave band is going to give you a fucking message.
Of course not.
I think definitely with ourselves.
But you would speak for yourself, saying that you guys provide a message that a lot of people can actually be captivated by.
Yeah, you've got to be positive. Like, I'm going to get really deep now. But like,
go as deep as you want.
People my age, like I'm in a demographic where males in this country, the biggest killer is like suicide, and depression and things like that. And I think like if any band could send a positive message out, it's good. You know, like Call Me, it's you know, so if you need some help. You know,
do you believe that maybe people require attention from other individuals, friendship in general?
I think social media and the music, crap music that we listen to now is depressing people. I think everyone's getting depressed. Everyone's getting so intrinsic. They don't want to, you know, they just need like a voice or something. But if they're not going to get it from social media. If we can like give some kind of inspiration or like a positive message to them, that it's all right to just like fucking say, sort of shout your feelings out. Look at the lyrics, One Night, Please Don't Cry. I mean, it sounds like cheesy, but like we actually mean it. That's why it comes across well. We pretty much fucking mean what we say. Come to a place like this and have someone like talk to you, know, like through song, you know, it's sometimes that works better than going and having like a little sit down conversation with someone. You know, I don't know. I'm not a philosopher or anything like that. I just think that we've lost a bit, and I'm not saying I haven't. I think everyone's lost a little bit of something, and I think like music can save people a little bit, and you know, definitely. Some of a lot of people here are like guys, right? This is just, I think these guys like really like this because it's shit for a guy to show his emotions and stuff like that. And if I can give as much emotion as I can in it, get them shouting, you know, like back to me and stuff like that, I think that's positive.
Are there any other bands that you would recommend besides yourself that you would highly suggest that people should take the time to take a look at as well?
In this particular scene?
Yes. Anything that you strongly suggest?
I mean, the big bands are the best bands. You know, the big three or whatever, Gunship, Midnight, That's the Dead as well. They've got some, well, can't say a lot, but they've got some good stuff coming up. Something a bit different for them. So definitely like worth checking them out. Like smaller bands, is like Lost Outrider. He's a guy from Nottingham. He's a cool guy. You know. But we haven't played with that many synthwave bands other than like these. This festivals are the only thing. There's not really any small synthwave, retrowave things.
Right.
Didn't fall off though, did it? That would have been good.
Well then, Sean Phillips, it's a pleasure to have a conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming. And more or less,
Sorry, I didn't know if I was like rambling. I have been here for like 10 hours, no, 12 hours now. So yeah, trying to think of things happen.
Once again, hey, I'm a big fan of yours. I love what you do, and I really hope you guys keep doing what you're doing within the years to come.
Next up, we have Vincenzo Salvia, recently having this tune played in Stranger Things, bringing the Italia disco vibe to the genre.
Vincenzo, thank you so much for taking the time to come with us.
My pleasure.
And give us your perspective. How do you like it here in London and the festival overall? What do you think of the events?
Well, I'm the second time here in London, in the same RetroFutureFest festival.
Yes.
And I can see this was better than previous one. They were both amazing for me. First of all, I love the city so much. It's such a, I feel such a artistic energy in this city, and the people here are amazing.
Do you feel like you're very connected with the audience that you perform for when it comes to your music? Do you think that that it provides an impact for individuals to say to themselves that Vincenzo Salvia was here and he's provided me music that has given me an impact in my life?
Yeah. A lot of them. I met a lot of persons which who really I don't know them, but they know everything about my music, all my albums, my story, and it's really amazing because I don't know. For me, I feel like I'm just like a bedroom composer. I don't feel that.
Speaking of which, where are you from, and what inspired you to create the music that you create as Vincenzo Salvia?
Originally, I'm from south of Italy. Potenza is like a very small and cloudy mountain city in the south, not far from Naples. But currently, I live in Milan. So, but that doesn't influence so much on on my music. I play this style because I grew in the 80s, and I've listened to my parents' music every time in my childhood, and I have in my brain this Italo disco, this style which I always try to bring in my music. I'm trying to create my own style, but I don't make it on purpose. I just do it because I have this in my blood.
Yes.
I can't separate this influence from myself. So I try to make simple, but anyway, I have some Italo disco which always tries to
within
go
your comfort zone, the style that you prefer when it comes to making this type of music. Would you say, all right, my question to you would be, would you say that the music that you create, which has a synthwave element, but at the same time it has a heavily inspired Italo disco round to it, would you say that it will prevail within the next upcoming years during this time frame? Like, what's your opinion on that? Do you think it will eventually come back?
far bigger than what it was.
I feel that the Italo disco could grow more and more.
What do you think it
So,
needs?
music must be more danceable, in my opinion, because we see tonight people like to dance.
Right.
So, and also, I brought tonight a different set comparing to the previous set which I brought in last year. I brought tonight more danceable tracks. So I think this is the move which we want. We want that people must dance, not just listen. When you have to improve your music to try to evolve your music, you have to make it dance. That's it.
You would say you differentiate from the majority of the artists that have played today.
Yeah.
And if so, what would you say has been your, I guess you could say, your signature sound as the performer of this festival?
Well, I still sound. I like to do that. Sounds like workout style.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to move, but it seems like you make some aerobics, and you have to work out.
Like good for dancing and also for working out.
Yeah.
Like in between those two lines.
Yeah. Anyway, you have to.
Differentiate.
Yeah.
Yes. I understand entirely. As Vincenzo Salvia, what has happened that has been very, I guess you could say, a major success in what you have done currently?
Well, the greatest one is the featuring in Stranger Things.
In what episode?
In the first episode of the third season. For me, it's still unbelievable. I can't believe it till today because it's so amazing. They just contacted me on my Facebook page and they asked me for my permission to use my music.
And that's it.
And I read the contract and everything what they say. But wait a second, they are from Stranger Things, and I saw these people on copy on the email from Netflix. Wait a second, I'm dreaming because it's really amazing.
It was a very, I would say that by far an enormous impact overall with what you do, and at the same time providing you a reputation that has given you the opportunity to say my song was within a well-known TV series that has been captivating the eyes of the majority of the globe. Would you say so?
Well, of course. It's a great satisfaction. It's like a stamp on your curriculum.
Yes.
You just say this and people will say, okay, he's a musician.
Yes.
He's not a bedroom composer like I was before. It's like your level is growing.
Right. And ever since that time that has happened to you, you would say that it has given you perhaps a lot more motivation to go further with the project that you have now.
Sure. I would like to work more with the soundtracks because it's really beautiful. When you see, it's different from when you release an album because an album still stays on your social medias and your stores. But when you release a track which is featured in a movie,
right? It's
and
incomparable.
You see
it's incomparable, you would say, right? Compared to the soundtrack.
And you see the movie, which is seen by
millions of people.
Millions of people. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Well, hey,
and everybody look at this movie and maybe they don't know that it's movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And let me ask you this: in conclusion, what do we expect in the future for Vincenzo Salvia? Another album, perhaps a tour within 2019 or maybe 2020. What do we expect from Vincenzo Salvia?
I'd like to grow more and more with live sets. Well, if you are a musician, you must grow in 360 degrees.
I agree.
So I would like to go in live sets to be more professional, to have more impact on people. Like to release new album with more beautiful composition, more beautiful arrangements, and everything. And of course, the soundtrack is another mission.
Yes.
I'm going to work with the second movie from Jackson Stewart.
From whom, sorry?
Jackson Stewart. He's an American director who made the Beyond the Gates movie with Barbara Crampton. I was featured in the his first movie, just in the start of the movie, in the titles.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
And it gave me a lot of satisfaction.
Well, Vincenzo, thank you so much for taking the time to have a conversation with us, man. I really appreciate it. And all I can say is, man, keep doing what you're doing. And I'll tell you what, throughout the years that you've been making this music, I think you're making a big impact.
Next up, we've got Mike from New Retrowave Motors. We spoke to him and he told us about his new concept and his new show, and it was very interesting too.
Like, give us a little bit of details about New Retrowave Motors. What is it exactly?
Well, I had this idea that we were going to pair the synthwave music with a car show. It's fairly informative about classic cars. I've been driving classic cars now for over 10 years, and I've been writing for New Retrowave for I think 2 years now, and the guy that I film with, the guy who owns the film company Final Film, said to me, you should really do videos about these cars, and you know, your passion for driving, what you know about these classic cars is quite something, so maybe you should bring this to the fore, and also, you know, bring it in with the synthwave music. So that's what we kind of did. We paired the two together, and this is what we've come up with so far. We're 4 episodes deep into New Retrowave Motors, and you know, so far it's been well received. So
That's awesome. And overall, I've seen a couple of your episodes, and I gotta say it's phenomenal material. And I picture it as a similarity to Top Gear.
I would say that really synthwave in its infancy in terms of the mainstream, I think we've got a long way to go yet, but with events like this, like you know, like RetroFutureFest, this is kind of bringing it to the mainstream in a way. And some people obviously, you know, I'll create some enemies and some friends with this kind of comment, but I really feel that it needs to expand and it needs to be noticed. And one of the ways it can be noticed is pairing it with something that is aesthetically like something which people are accustomed with, which is the cars, the automotive stuff. And pairing the two and making it more like it's supposed to be something that can welcome anyone. You know, if you are like a car nut, obviously you're going to enjoy this because we've got these cars involved, like these retro cars. But also, if you're a music lover, we've combined this in some ways like a music video. So yeah, it's going to go from strength to strength, in my opinion. So
Right, there's multiple spectrums that people have an interest in, whether it be the music or perhaps the aesthetics behind it.
I think that the more work that we put in to this kind of genre, it is going to bring people to recognize that this music is more than just like it's more than just kind of like a ripple in the ocean. This movement is going to change things because it really breeds the kind of like imagination that you have from childhood. Like it really brings some lovely visuals, like paired with some music that that we can all kind of relate to, and I think like that real kind of like movie style look that we have from like film and music videos is going to be combined to like make this show, well, you know, like really enjoyable, easily accessible. That's what I'm trying to say.
Well, this is Johhny Lad signing off from ZeroLink Podcast. You guys have a good night.